Good afternoon, everyone. Bettina Carey here, and I'm the founder and CEO of We Empower You, the community, and WeEmpowerYourLife.com, the website. And I'm excited to welcome you all back to our Wednesday program where we feature speakers like our upcoming speaker, Master Nigel Henry, who's going to be speaking tonight about using your voice as your moneymaker. And I'd also like to invite those of you who are watching live on YouTube or on Facebook to come to these meetings that we have every Wednesday. So all you need to do is go to WeEmpowerYourLife.com, click on the calendar tab and get the Zoom link there and join us every single Wednesday from 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to about 5 p.m. And we will make sure that you have all kinds of great, wonderful experiences here on these Wednesday meetings. Tonight, we're going to be welcoming back Master Nigel Henry, as I said. And I'm going to just mention a little bit more about him in a few minutes. I do want to remind everybody who's watching that every quarter we do a We Empower You Global Virtual Summit from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 8:30 a.m. rather, to 8:30 p.m. And it's going to be a really great event coming up December the 8th. I'm also excited to let everybody know that we have a membership. That's the We Empower You membership. And it has absolutely gone up in value since we last spoke. Aggie and I have been working behind the scenes to bring you a more than $30,000 package valued to you. For those of you who are interested in joining the membership, go ahead and give me a call at 206-349-4297. So with that said, let me tell you a little bit more about Master Nigel Henry. Since 1999, Master Nigel has been developing and marketing mastery performance activation tools, distinctions, and practices that are intended for unleashing the greatness of the extraordinary beings like me who are emerging, innovative, disruptive, highly gifted, high performance, highly sensitive, deep thinking, heart-centered, purpose-driven, entrepreneurial change angels. As a fellow change angel, Master Nigel is responsible for the growth and the expansion of the change angel activation movement, whose business and mission it is locating, assembling, and activating 144,000 tribe members like me who have a life calling for making a massive, rapid, beneficial change on the planet. With that said, welcome, Master Nigel Henry. It's so great to have you back here tonight.
Welcome, everyone. Greetings. I'm grateful for this opportunity to weekly get to practice speaking. I have invested recently a lot of money to practice speaking. In my bio, it says 20 years of developing this activation thing. And what I realized, I've been developing the product, but I haven't been developing the art of selling the product. And recently, based on the investment I made in some programs with Russell Brunson mainly, I realized that when I'm on the stage, I'm supposed to be selling, not teaching. And it clicked on me why I was buying so many people's products. I was that these are masters of selling. Their voice is their moneymaker, and moneymaker means that when they talk, my money leaves my account and go to their account. That's the secret. The voice makes their money, or my money, whoever's listening to me, leave the account, their account, your account, and goes to the speaker's account. That is the moneymaker. So I'm assuming that everyone on this call has got some kind of offering, gift, training, something that when it's delivered to the audience, it would make a difference in their lives or enable them to make a difference in the world. Can I have a show of hands for all the angels on the call who have an offering that's related to helping, making a change in people's lives and improving life on earth? Now, if you don't raise your hand, I'm going to call you out one by one. Okay. So I'm assuming that Lori doesn't have any offer. Lori, are you there? What's your offer, Lori? Oh, you're muted.
I'm offering
Yes.
samurai coaching.
So can we talk about that for a minute? And by the
Sure.
way, before I get into everything, I'd like to go around and have everyone introduce themselves and their offering and what that offering does for their clients or in the world. So we'll start off with Lori. And Lori, after you introduce yourself and maybe get subjected to some cross-examination, after that's over,
I'm off the witness stand.
after that's completed, would you be kind enough to call on the next person? All right.
Sure.
Where did she go? There she is. So
I'm right
Lori,
here.
let's start off with your core. At your core, who do you say that you are? Now, we know your name is Lori, but who are you at your core, in the heart? Who are you?
I'm a samurai woman.
Aha. Can you elaborate the nature and distinctions of the samurai woman?
Well, I found out that our family crest is from one of the 5 major samurai crests of feudal Japan. And after I found that out through research, I knew that that was in my DNA. It comes from my father's bloodline.
Yes.
And
so you, at your core, you have the spirit of the samurai. Yes?
Yes.
Now, the samurai is on earth for a purpose. What difference? Well, let's just say if the samurais disappeared off the face of the earth, I'm doing it in reverse. Basically, what I'm really asking, what difference does a samurai make on the planet? And if we remove them, would it make any difference on Earth? How would Earth be different if there were no samurai spirit and definitely not a samurai woman?
Well, actually, there's no samurai warriors per se, because in the 1860s, their sword, both swords were taken away and their role was.
Well, the samurai spirit, like.
Okay, the samurai spirit, yes, it lives on, and it lives on it came through the bloodline through Japanese people. And when
here's the question.
Okay.
If we deleted the samurai spirit, just like wipe them out, what difference would it make on the planet?
I believe it'd make a lot, like the tsunami and earthquake of 2011, I believe. The people responded with gratitude and love and sharing. They didn't go around looting and stealing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I think what I heard is because of the presence of the samurai spirit, people exhibit gratitude, and that you only gave me one, and then you went off to what they didn't exhibit. So can you
honesty,
yes.
integrity.
Yes.
And they shared, they were benevolent, they were kind to each other.
Well, yeah, wait. So we're saying it's because of the samurai spirit. The samurai spirit activates the presence of gratitude. Please help me. It brings
honesty,
out this
honesty, loyalty, benevolence.
Is there more? Don't leave us hanging.
Okay, the samurai code of ethics is courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. And that's what they.
Lori, I think that your work is sacred. And I know I'm not Roger Love, but I do have activating powers. And I say that since Lori carries the samurai spirit, it is a sacred thing that she carries. And wherever the samurai spirit exists or is embodied, then the qualities listed, which are numbered, I think there are 7 of them, must be experienced by the audience. And the way to experience is it through your voice, Angel Lori. And I think I would like to invite you to slow it down, just like how I'm talking, and be deliberate on each quality so that the people feel them as you're announcing them. Because to the degree that there's honesty, integrity, benevolence in this room tonight, I am blaming the spirit of the samurai woman. So can you just say it now and
yes.
own it
linguistically,
just presence it for us.
Okay.
Thank you.
The code of Bushido includes courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty.
Awesome. Now I'm going to take it to another level. Because of the presence of those codes, the audience experiences those things. Can you declare that?
Yes, the audience. The audience.
No, the audience. This audience right here.
This audience.
Yeah, so just put it in the space, because your presence is why this audience is going to have integrity. Because if you weren't here, like you said in Japan, because of the presence of the samurai spirit, people reacted differently to the disaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, same in this room. Because of your presence in this room, all those codes will be activated in the audience tonight. So, but you'd have to speak it with authority as if you're responsible for that. One more shot. Go ahead.
Okay. Because of the code of Bushido, and I am a samurai woman and a descendant of the samurai warrior. And the presence or the ethics of courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty, those qualities, those qualities or principles are present now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I am grateful for that. Now, raise your hand if you felt it, the presence being activated. That's your job, to make it present now. It's not to talk about it, it's to put it in the space and assert your authority. You've been chosen by divine lineage, authorized to establish these qualities in any space that you dominate, which includes anywhere you are. Are you okay with that, amount of power?
I'm okay with that.
Awesome. All right, the greatness. With that said, would you like to call the next person that your spirit guides you to call?
Right above me, Yolanda.
Oh, yes, last week she played the role of the president and she was excellent. So, Your Majesty, Your Highness, Your Excellence, welcome again.
Thank you.
At your core, who is your spirit telling you that you are? Like in the heavenly factory where all greats are made, before the breath of life was blown into you, a spirit similar to the samurai spirit was blown into your DNA. Can you give that spirit a name?
Yes, I can. I am the angel of light. I bring light to each of you, present and not present. When God blew the breath of air on me to start breathing, he said, you go be the light, my baby Yoli. Huh?
Awesome. Awesome. Excellent. Now, angel of light. What happens when the angel of light is suppressed or distinguished or missing?
You're going to be lost because you're going to
No, you. There's no.
Oh, me.
Wait, no, not even me.
Okay.
Just like how the spirit of the samurai caused the presence of those four things.
Okay.
And when she's not paying attention or missing, those qualities disappear. So what disappears? What's the symptom that the angel of light is offline? What are the symptoms?
What are the symptoms that the angel of light is
offline? Like she's not shining, she's not being her, she's disobeying her prime directive.
When the angel of light is not shining, is due to the fact that I am.
Not the reason. What happens in the world?
In the world, there will be obscurity, there will be sadness, there will be depression, there will be confusion,
Yes.
There will be animosity. There will be disagreements. There will be fights. The angel of light must be present at all times.
Amen. Exactly right. So there's a quote that backs up what you're saying. For evil to abound in the world, then people of good quality, angels, must be quiet.
Must be
quiet, like silent.
Okay.
So the reason why there's evil dominating on planet Earth is because the angels are quiet. The samurai is not present. Well, that's what happens. Like when she's present, hey, we can tell she's in the house. And when she's missing, there's all sorts of stuff going on. No integrity, dishonesty, all these things, all these beautiful qualities disappear. And we have an economy or a country that's heading south. Similarly, when the angel of light is missing, we can tell, we just have to look in the environment. Is there a lot of vagueness, darkness, depression? Oh.
Yeah,
it means
confusion.
Confusion. Angel of light is offline. She is got excuses. So, angel of light. We have angels here on this call, and clearly, anyhow you go quiet, we're going to have confusion in the house and depression and all that crap. Can you please activate and tell us what we will experience now that you're in the house? And please apologize for any previous missing. Like, oh, I'm sorry I was away. I hope you didn't guys suffer too much, but I'm back. All right.
What would you experience with my presence?
Yes. Now, you being the world or the environment that you're in. So when I'm in the house, these qualities are in the environment. Start like that. Go ahead.
When I'm in the house,
yes,
all of you will be experiencing happiness.
Now, one virus word I found is the word you.
The
word you is a virus word.
And it's a virus, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I know your intention is everyone. So to get around it, you just say, these qualities are present.
When I'm in the house, bright and shiny,
yes.
bright and shiny, you will, not you, no. The experience that is happening, these qualities are present. Happiness.
Yes.
Enjoyment, which is the same as happiness.
Yes.
Enjoyment. Sunshine all around the room. I mean,
that's enough right there.
That's enough. Okay.
Listen, you are exhibiting it. You notice you kind of a happy soul as soon as you come on the call.
Yes.
So basically, when the angel of light is in the house, you should experience joy and happiness. And just look at her. Look at her. She's modeling joy and happiness. There it is. Now, if she goes offline or she's distracted, you'll have confusion, depression, all these. Yes. So just blame her. Anyhow, you're feeling confused, depressed. Where's the angel at? She's hiding, man, keeping her gifts to herself. It's illegal, angel of light, to keep your gifts to yourself. You must light up the room, even if they shoot at you. You must light up the room. You have authority from your maker to disrupt and blast light into the place. You know, people don't like too much bright light, especially if they've been in the dark for a while. They tend to shoot at light. Turn that off. Can you put on a lampshade or something, Yolanda?
And I'm legally gonna do a candle for you guys. I'm gonna light a candle for you guys.
No, not for you guys, for the space.
For the space that we are occupying at this very moment.
That I am. Yes. So in other words, the fact that there's light and joy in the space, I am attributing it to Yolanda, the angel of light. And anyhow I experience any honesty, integrity, really think those should be printed there, samurai spirit. Can we have the samurai principles on display to remind us of what you're bringing to the table? Anyhow, I feel those things. I'm blaming the samurai. If I feel happy, I'm going to blame the angel Light, right? So own it and get paid, okay? Let's get straight about that. This is value that the angel of light and the spirit of the samurai is bringing. Yes, so specifically to this, how do I address her? The samurai woman or the spirit of the samurai? This is why I like to keep them engaged. All this walking off is I can't talk to her. Where she goes. Anyway, I'd like to be able to call on her to crank up the level. Yes, so what I recommend, yes, just what I say is have it as your background, your Zoom background. So it's always on display. Does that make sense? You can unmute, by the way, Lori. Your voice is welcome. You can stay unmuted.
Okay. I have this too, but this is easier.
Yeah, but what I recommend is just build, you see this thing that's being shared on the screen? I recommend you make it into your Zoom background.
Okay.
But just the 7 qualities. And so that people just know that that's what you represent, because it's extremely valuable on Earth. And until you speak about it, they won't recognize that this thing has massive value, and especially during an earthquake or tsunami or any kind of disastrous moment, that's when they value the spirit of the samurai. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yes, well, you got to talk, my friend. If you go silent, they won't pay you for it. That's my issue, okay?
Okay.
So please stay off, keep your microphone unmuted so that I can just call on the angel Lori and you speak something. Right?
Okay.
Crank up.
But I have to leave at 4. I have to leave at 4. I'm sorry.
Does that mean we're all gonna, does that mean everything goes dark when you leave?
No, Yolanda's here.
Well, you know, that's the light. I'm talking about the 7 qualities. Do you take them with you or do you leave them in the space?
They'll be there.
Well, they'll be there.
We can have this up there, but I do have to leave at 4. I'm sorry.
I understand, but what I'm saying, what will you be leaving in the space? That's what I'm asking. Leave something in the space. That's why I'd like you to crank it up while you're here, so that even if your physical body leaves, your values and your essence remains in the space. That's how you get paid, okay? All right, Angel Yolanda, who is next?
Is Miss Doris Hughes.
Yes, she was here last week. And so you got to unmute now, Angel Doris.
I can't help to notice her beautiful headband.
I see her. She's glowing today, glowing. So, Angel Doris, I'd like to introduce you to a protocol that you missed last week. And it's called the exit protocol. So just like Angel Lori is intending to leave at 4, how many hours from now is that? How many minutes is that?
Just a half hour.
All right, so Angel Lori, this is for you, Angel Lori, but I'm going to teach it to you through Angel Doris. So Angel Doris, you know that last week you lit up the room. Last week, you did. First day, bow, woo! And then you just left. And the lights went out.
Well, what happened?
It's
Technology
okay.
went out.
I know.
I got
it's okay.
lost.
I know. You don't need to explain yourself, but I'm going to show you how to leave your spirit in the room. That's what I'm saying. When you left, your spirit also left. And this is why I'm saying it with Lori in mind, because Lori will be leaving in body, but not in spirit. Yes, Lori? So first of all, Lori, there's a centering that happens. When I'm centered, like if you watch Bettina, when she's online, she's always steady. She doesn't go in and out of the frame, right? And what that does is, because you're a powerful being, Lori, every time you move, the energy moves in the room. And since you're powerful, it's necessary for you to have that posture that you have right now. That is your concentrated posture. and it keeps your spirit in the room. It just keeps it here. But when I got off and I'm walking off and I got to do multitasking, it moves my energy around. And if you were weak, it wouldn't matter, but you're a powerful woman. So back to Bettina is a great model. I like when she's in the space, she's just right there at, 30 degrees to the left of her logo. she holds the space beautifully. And so I'd like Angel Lori to hold the space of the samurai spirit steady while she's here, so that when she leaves, that spirit stays in the space. Yes?
Yes.
And then here's a protocol for the voice. This is for Doris. I know that technology probably happened to you and, lines dropped or whatever. So what I recommend before you exit is to do a summary of just a summary. So I'm going to use Angel Lori as a working example. Lori, pretend you got to leave right now. Can you give us a summary of the values of the samurai spirit? Just a summary right now.
The principles.
Just say in summary.
In summary, the principles of the samurai are courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty.
Beautifully done. Look at that. Now, you see all those heads nodding? That means your power went up. Now, to make sure that it stays in the room, choose someone that your spirit likes to reflect it back at you. Just pick anyone.
Okay, Bettina.
Please reflect the principles of the thing. Now, she's going to get it wrong, okay? And that's why you're here, to correct her before you leave, because then she will hold it for you. Yes? So ask her to reflect it to you. So Bettina, what are go ahead.
Bettina, could you recite the principles of the samurai?
You're muted, Bettina, you're muted.
First you said all 7 too.
Yeah, so there's going to be errors.
Of course, I can use resources. So I'm using a resource to.
Wait. The question is, could you please yeah, whatever. But go ahead.
Yes.
However you do it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the 7 code of Bushido is integrity, respect, courage, honor, benevolence is in there, compassion, honesty, and loyalty.
Is that correct, Lori?
Except compassion compassion and benevolence are kind of the same.
Yes.
Okay.
So have her correct it then, Lori. Just leave it perfect the way you like it.
Could you say those again?
Sure. The 7 code of Bushido are integrity, respect, courage, honor, benevolence, honesty, and loyalty.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Now, with that said, Bettina can hold the principles on your behalf while you exit.
Thank you.
You see that? Now, Bettina mentioned something beautiful that you provided, Lori. She said she gave me a resource. Hey, as a master teacher, you give out resources or tools, frameworks. So to get your work in the world, I recommend right now that you put in the chat a link to that resource so that all the angels can hold the spirit of Bushido.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yes.
So my intention is that your principles start propagating in the world because they enhance the angels. Bettina, do you find those 7 principles useful in addition to whatever you're bringing?
Yes, I do.
Angel Yolanda, would those 7 principles enhance your light?
Absolutely. Yes.
Now you see your impact, Lori. That's why I want you to be present and putting out your magic and enhancing the other angels in the room with equipment, statements, whatever is necessary. Your job, your 7 principles are additions to the Yolanda, to the Bettina, or the Grace. You see what I'm saying? Without you, they will be weaker. All right, so that was protocol for the great Doris, because she's a super powerhouse. And when you're that powerful, the more power that I exhibit is the more protocol is necessary. The more power I have is the more protocol I must exhibit. So classic comparison, everyone remember President Trump, right? Before he became President Trump, he was Donald Trump, and he was business mogul and, you know, television celebrity, right? Everybody loved him. He was the man. And then he went up the level on the power scale. He became president. Dude, that's the pinnacle in America. And it didn't matter how much money he had and how much celebrity he had. What matters is how well he conducted himself, the protocol of the presidency. You see that? When you go to England, do you walk behind the Queen or beside the Queen? Protocol. And that's where I would say I'm gifting Angel Doris, because she's already powerful. Last week I said awareness, and now I'm saying protocol. These three things, power, awareness, and protocol, allows you to be graceful with your power. Yes? If awareness is low, yikes! It's scary. Trust me. When the awareness is low and the person's powerful, they're called a victim. You don't want to be around them. And if they have awareness and power but no protocol, it's kind of horrible. Now, contrast, President Obama, he had the same power. He had very awareness of the word. My favorite, he likes to, you remember that? That means he's selecting a word. This situation, you know, this guy is a graduate from Harvard, so he can talk, and he's written several books. So it's not that he can't talk. He is selecting his words very carefully. He's aware that every word does something. And then there's protocol. For some reason, that brother knows the protocol of every country on the land. I think it's from growing up in Hawaii and different third world countries. He went to Jamaica, and there's a protocol. Wagwan, man. And they like, my God, he understands our protocol. Jamaica went crazy over Obama because he spoke in their protocol. So this is what I'm saying. Learn the protocol of power, because the angels have it already. And so for Angel Lori, it's about, because you're powerful, you don't get to move around like regular people. You can't get up from your seat every 5 minutes. You're holding space. Secondly, you have a protocol where you transfer the space holder before you exit gracefully. You summarize just to let them know the last thing they remembered before you left the room was your summary. You see that? That way, your presence is always there, whether your body's there or not. Excellent. And then you enhance every other powerful being in the room with your gifts. Oh, whew, where did that come from? Hold on now. Where was I going?
Roger Love told me I had a very powerful voice.
You are a powerful being. Therefore, you have a powerful voice. You shouldn't be told that. Just like I don't have to tell Doris she's powerful. It comes with the angel word. But now that you're powerful, we add awareness and protocol. That's all I'm adding. So I'm not here to make you powerful. Your voice works. Okay? Now, unless I want to make some money off you and say, hey, if you sign up for my voice coaching, you know, I can make your voice even better. No, you were born with a badass voice, Lori. Your job is to use it and get paid. That's it. That's the only thing that's next. Okay, back to Doris. Welcome, Doris. Just speak.
Thank you.
And yes. The question I've been asking people is, in your heart, at your core, who does God think you are? we know your name and we know your roles, but when God was like, oh yeah, I'm making this angel, before the breath of life was blown into your temple, this is the angel of X. Who is this angel that he created?
An angel of anointing.
What does that mean? Can you break it down?
Yes, it means that I have many gifts that have been awarded to me, and those gifts that God has given me, there is a promise that I have made that I will give those gifts back to others so they can reap the benefit of the beauty of knowing and serving the Most High.
Excellent. We're getting there. There's some more work here. So first thing to know, all angels are super gifted. What are they, Lori? Super
Principles?
gifted.
Super
No,
gifted.
Gifted.
What did she say? What was that word?
Wait, no. She misheard me. So I was asking her a question to repeat. I made a statement. All angels are super gifted. And I just wanted to make sure she heard it by asking her, Angel, Lori, what are all angels?
They're angels, but they're all gifted.
Super gifted.
Super gifted.
Super. Just say, I am super gifted, Nigel.
I'm super gifted, Nigel.
Yes, Lori. That's what I want you to know. You're not a gifted person. You are a super gifted person. You are got gifts coming out the wazoo. You got more gifts than you can handle. That's why you have the spirit of the samurai. It's a super being. It's not a regular human here. It's the superpower that you have, and it was installed in the factory. So please own it by saying it. People own things when they say they own them. So can you claim that you're a super gifted person, Lori? Or are you thinking about it? I'm not sure,
Yes.
Nigel. Well, go
No.
ahead.
Well, I know, I believe that I'm very gifted, and I
I'm
believe
not
that
asking you to believe. I'm asking you to declare.
I am very gifted, and God
I
has
am a
blessed me.
super
Gifted.
Just say it like that. Nigel.
I'm a super gifted
being.
Samurai woman.
Well, it's packaged as a samurai woman, but as a
Okay.
super being, you're just gifted. So all angels are super. Now, humans are gifted, but the angels are super gifted. You've heard of Superwoman and Superman. This is who's in the room. Now, the way that those super gifts are activated is by declaration, Lori. Until you say, I'm super gifted, the super gifts remain dormant. Yes. Who said that? Oh,
me.
Doris.
Doris. Now, Doris is talking my language. Now,
Yes.
Doris,
Yes.
let's talk again. So the beautiful thing about Doris, she came in and she spoke the language of all angels. She said, you know, in the factory, I don't know what God was thinking, but he done loaded me up with a bunch of super gifts.
Yep.
And I'm saying she spoke for all the angels on this call. They're all super gifted, but Doris is the only one that declared it. And when a super gift is declared, it comes out as superpowers. Superpower. So, Yolanda, are you super gifted?
I am super gifted, indeed.
Good. Therefore, I expect superpowers.
Therefore, I expect superpowers.
And when you have superpowers, you do extraordinary things on earth. Like, whoa, what happened? It's called miracles and extraordinary stuff. Now, welcome again, Doris. See, Doris is super activated, and that's why her power is out already. And all I'm doing with Doris is reminding her of what comes with power. So here's the thing, Doris. To whom much is gifted?
She's expected.
No, let her speak it. Because those gifts weren't given
Say
for
that
nothing.
again. To whom much is gifted.
Much is.
Whoa, don't spoil her, man.
To whom much is gifted. Well, there is a scripture that says something similar to this. Is this the answer you want from the scripture? To whom much is given, much is required.
All right, now that is a downgraded translation because that doesn't really do anything because Yes, it's written in there like that, but it didn't do anything to you, did it?
No.
I know. It's because the version that you're reading was downgraded because superpower is scary, my friend. Trust me. You start activating your superpower and people start running away from you.
Mm-hmm. They sure
Right?
do.
So whoever wrote the scripture, they're like, we don't want to scare the people. So we're going to language it a little bit tamer. To whom much is gifted, much is required. Okay? It ain't that way. Let me go back to the factory and tell you what I heard.
So what did you hear?
I'm telling you now.
Well, what's
First
the
of all, I'm giving it right now. Give me a chance. Coming out. It's coming out. Here we go. First of all, the gifts were installed after the purpose was installed. So here's the order of installation. Identity was installed first. This is an angel with whom I'm well pleased. This is my special. This is my badass. This is my Rolls Royce. This is my set aside. This person here, when she goes to Earth, she's immune. She has got diplomatic and political and spiritual immunity. That's a lot of favor right there. That's the first thing that was installed. Number one, your identity. And it's called angel. Second thing is purpose. For this identity, I have a purpose in mind. And for Yolanda, it was to shine brightly, light up the place. I'm going to give you all this special immunity and whatever, but I built you to light up the world. And for Lori, is to establish those 7 principles in every environment that she is in. And I want it global, Lori. Why have I lost my images? Okay, back to, somehow I've gone back to me. I don't like looking at me. I like looking at my people's. Hold on, the people's. Oh, there it is, view. 1 second, I'm coming back into view. Hello. Yes, so to whom much is given, the real is much was agreed upon. Where is she? So this is what happened. First, in the factory, the manufacture of an angel, let's think about we're making angels today. And then for Doris, what purpose do I have in mind? So this is what God was like. This is the way to get to your purpose. What was God thinking while I was being made? You know, if like if you're an apple, they were thinking, we want something that you can put in your ear and just blots out all the noise. And they were thinking that they want a thing that gives you noise cancellation. So they started making this thing. But the intention, the purpose was considered before the manufacturing started. They're like, what we want Doris to do is change the world in some way. When we install her on Earth, the world must change in this specific way. Okay, so now we have identity, a super badass, immune, favored person. That's what an angel is. And then the purpose of that angel is to change the world in a specific way. And then we go, okay, she's going to need some gifts. Okay, now what was the thing that we wanted to change? The world. Okay, she's going to need a lot of gifts. In fact, we're going to load some of them and have them dormant and have them activated by another angel. So you know that those 7, can you say that for me, Lori? The 7
principles: courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty.
Those are installed in Doris, but they might be dormant. And you know what happens? When Lori shows up, they wake up. If Lori starts talking, that is. Lori, you got to talk. Voice has to activate. Your voice is an activating ingredient. So now Doris comes in thinking, oh man, Nigel, I'm super gifted. And I have 21 gifts. And then Doris starts talking and another 7 wakes up. Did you hear that, Lori?
Yes, I did.
Doris. Tell me what you're hearing, Doris. Just tell me what you think you're hearing. Anything. Just send back whatever you think you hear.
But what
Don't-
I'm hearing is something very powerful from
No,
God.
verbatim.
Oh, speak verbatim. Okay, I've learned the superpowers. I'm a super gifted angel. The superpowers that are in me. The manufacturing of angels, it means that there is identity that God gave me. And
Let me pause you for a minute because I can see something interfering with your power. Let me ask you a question. Did you take notes?
I sure did.
I know. You can tell, we can tell every time an angel takes notes, their power goes down.
Say that again. You saying I shouldn't take notes?
No,
Everybody can't
listen,
remember everything now.
Hold on a second. There's a little habit that you have called interpretation versus quoting. I would prefer to be quoted verbatim rather than interpreted, because people will twist my words when they interpret it. So you saying this, Nigel? No, this is what I said. Did you take notes? That's what I said verbatim. And you said, yes, unless I interpreted you wrong. And you were like, no, Nigel. See, no interpretation, verbatim, precision. So let me just ask a straight question. Did you take notes?
Yes.
Great. Now I'm telling you, when an angel takes notes, they diminish their power for this reason. And you're going to love it, Doris. I think you're going to love it. So first thing is, angels are not takers. We don't take from the world. We give to the world. You're a gifted woman. Therefore, everything you do is coming out. Gift. So note taking. Are you a note taker or a note giver?
Both.
Wrong. Beep. All angels are one-way traffic, note givers. Look at my hands. No notes. But what am I doing? Giving notes. Giving. Now, just to let you know, this is why it's super important. And I am being powerful with Doris because she's powerful. And you don't mince words when you're dealing with a powerful angel. You have to just give it to them straight. You prefer it straight, or do you like to water it down a little bit? Is it too strong?
Like straight.
The truth. Right. So here's the thing. The note-taking thing was forced on you. Mm-hmm. It was inflicted on you at school. You are a gifted child. Gifted children are the ones that stick up their hand when the teacher's talking and interrupt the teacher and say, no, miss, no, I think, shut up, Doris. Write down what I tell you to. No, it doesn't. No. And you see, Doris, write it down. Okay, no, pow. All right, sorry. You see, it was forced on you, right? So Doris, you're forgiven because somebody abused you and told you you're supposed to take notes. You are the teacher in the room. You give notes. When you're talking, you see pens flying around. That means you're giving notes. Yes? That's what you're looking for. Notice Nigel is giving notes. And you see any pens? No pens. Now, the reason I'm giving you this specific, Doris, is because of the money piece. Taking notes costs money. Giving notes makes money. Repeat that, Doris. Taking
notes costs money. Giving notes makes money.
Which one would you prefer?
Well, I'm giving. I like to give.
Yes, well, Doris, give some notes. Don't take notes.
Well, I'm sorry. It helps me to remember things.
Well, as long as you like paying, Doris, that's fine. So if you take any notes from me, I expect payment.
Well, we can talk about that too, honey. You just tell me what's going on and we can work it out.
Doris, first of all, I'm going to let you know that I ask students to leave this class, okay? This is not the place to come and learn. This is the place to come and teach. Did you see Lori take any notes?
I can't tell what Lori's doing. I can't tell what none of y'all doing. All I'm seeing is your heads.
Would you like to leave then, since it's not working out?
Well, if you don't want me here, of course I'll go. I don't have to stay around now.
Now, let me just say it again, Doris. I'm going to say it to you plain. This is a teacher's class.
Well, I didn't know this. You can't just come in here and throw things on me and I'm not aware. And now you want me to leave? You're asking me to leave? Are
Doris,
you? What?
Repeat after me verbatim. Doris, you can stay if you teach.
Doris, you can stay if you teach.
Now, that's what I'm saying. And you can leave if you want to take notes.
Well, okay, I won't take no notes, but it's going to be hard for me to remember everything because my brain ain't wired like that.
Now, did you say you were super gifted?
Of course I'm super gifted, but I'm not gifted in everything. There's some weakness I got too, and it is remembering things.
I know, Doris, and I can tell you what that's causing that. Would you like to know? Lori, is this your time to leave?
Now, it is. I didn't want to be, Okay,
no,
thank you.
No, I want you to disrupt, Lori.
Okay, bye-bye. I'm sorry.
Wait, no, just summarize and leave. Summarize and leave. Summarize the 7 principles.
I will summarize the seven principles: courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty.
And so it is. Thank you for blessing us with your gifts. Now you can leave. That's the protocol for exit. Must summarize before leaving. Now, Doris, I did not call you on this call to have an argument with you. I have a specific mission on my life, which is to activate greatness. And I get paid a lot of money to do it. And I have learned that there's a scripture that says, never cast pearls. You know that scripture? And what that means is if the person that you're speaking to does not appreciate what you're saying, then you should stop talking or ask them to leave. So I'm saying, and I don't want to be misinterpreted because I like to be quoted exactly on my words. I am saying the people on this call are super gifted and super powerful. There's nothing for them to learn. I'm not their teacher. I am activating that which was already installed. So Doris came on the call, powerful already. There's no doubt about it. There's some, where I've seen her weakness, which is coming up today, is her awareness of her words. Her words are hurting her right now. And then there's a practice that was inflicted on her called taking notes. And it was told to her that she has a bad memory. And I assure you, you have an excellent, God-created, perfect memory. And all you've done was spoken against your own beautiful mind just now. Your mind can remember everything down to the letter, but it comes from speaking, not from listening. Well, you were brainwashed to think that you will remember if you hear and if you take notes. I tell you, you should remember everything if you speak. Memory comes from speaking. And that's what interfered with you. When you were speaking, somebody told you to shut up and take notes. And that's when your memory started going back, because your memory comes from when you're talking, Doris. The longer you talk is the more you remember. That's how all children work. That's how all humans work. But somebody programmed an error and you started cursing your own mind. I'm like, no, this is a brilliant. God wouldn't give you power without a beautiful working mind. So you are gifted with memory as far as I'm concerned, unless you speak against it. So what I heard you say, I can't remember stuff. Oh, Lord, she just spoke the virus with so much power that it hurt everyone in this room. That's why I said, Doris, your power is so sacred that sometimes it's just best to be quiet, not because I don't want you to speak, but I don't want you to hurt other people with your power. That's it. Now, if that's too much and you're going to cause damage, I would prefer that you left than to hurt the other angels. That's what I'm saying. But if you choose to stay, there's a protocol. The protocol is that you teach and give notes. If you take notes, then you're saying, I prefer to leave, and I'm going to ask you to leave. So it's a choice. Will you stay and teach, or will you stay to take notes?
Well, I'll stay and teach now that I know how you feel.
It's not how I feel. It's the protocol of the room.
Okay, well, you're communicating. That's the only way I'm going to understand. You got to tell me what's going on.
All right. Well,
This is my second time being on the show, right?
Well,
I don't know you. I just met you twice. I'm learning you.
Okay, let me say something, Doris. The thing that's hurting you, and I'm going to ask Troy to say it because it's not Nigel. It's not about Nigel. Troy can tell you what's happening, and it's because you're such a powerful woman why this matters. For most people, they don't do what Doris does. They come and look at Moria. How much has Moria said since she's been on the call?
Nothing.
Zero. It's not that she doesn't speak. She doesn't use her power as much as you do. And I'm saying it's great. I actually think you're a great role model. But the difference is that there are words coming out your mouth with power that is so harmful. That's the only issue I'm having. You're powerful, I love it, but the words, man, and rather than making it personal about Nigel, I was gonna ask Troy, can you say the words that you notice that are hurting that, because Troy is aware? What words? Just pick the words, not the sentences.
Well, not is one of the most common.
And any other ones?
You
heard?
You
And not. Those two words, Doris, are so deadly. And when you add power to them, man, it's like you're just doing this. It's not just to Nigel, it's to everyone in listening. And your voice touches everybody. So Nigel just wants your words to be more sacred so that when you put so much power on them, they expand the people, okay? And I know this is your second time. And the reason why I throw you in is because you're powerful. If you were weak, I'd like, well, we'll have to break her in over 3 weeks. No, we got a super angel with us. She's ready to go. Some adjustment on the awareness of the word, Doris. That's all I'm doing. I do not beat. It is never my intention to shut down your voice. I want that voice strong the way it is. I just want the precision on the language. Yes? What are you hearing? Just don't interpret. Just tell me what you can remember. And you're gonna miss some of it. Don't worry. If you miss some of it, it's just your mind. It's gonna catch up later. Just tell me what you think you heard.
Well, what I thought I heard is you're saying that there's no need to take notes. Just receive what you're saying. No
receiving. You give out what you're thinking. That's it.
Well, I got to receive it before I can give it, right?
No. That's an error again. Here's what I'd like to tell you. It's already in you. There is nothing for you to receive. You are loaded. You're loaded.
It.
Well, I'm just saying she's loaded. We need to get it out of you. You don't need nothing more coming in. You don't come here to learn from Nigel. You're here to spit out your gifts. That's what the word gifts mean. It's giving. You are a super gifted being. It means you're stacked. You need to start spitting that out and getting paid. It's called the teacher. Spray out your gifts, lady. Now, if you spray them out with certain words, those gifts will hurt the person. So this is why, Bettina, can you send her the virus word just for her thing? I think I sent it.
That would be great.
Yeah, I sent it last week, but because of the technical break, you missed it.
Okay.
But that will help.
Can you add the distinction of banknotes?
Yes. Would you like to teach it, Bettina? Let's Troy teach it first, and then.
Okay, let's Troy teach it. I'll get the virus.
Okay, I see.
Go ahead.
Well, to me, a banknote is when I give a nugget of some sort through using my Moneymaker, and it's one of those aha moments, and that is something that is acceptable to be written down and shared with everyone.
No, we call that an iPhone 4.
That was an iPhone 2.5.
No, don't downgrade it, man. It's a 4. You can still sell it and get some money. And now we're going to send it over to Bettina to make it an iPhone 5 or a 6. That's all we're doing. The first version is always full of bugs. And then we just do another one and make it better. Bettina, would you like to upgrade that?
Okay. So when I teach, I create bank notes that I can take to the bank and cash. When I take notes, I'm learning, and it creates student debt. So as a student, I create debt. As a teacher, as a master teacher, I create bank notes that others, assets that others pay
for. Yes.
For my bank notes. So when I have bank notes to deliver, that's when I make money. When I consume and I write things down, that's when I'm a student and I have to pay the master teachers for that information. I'd rather be a teacher, a master teacher, than a student any day, knowing this distinction.
Awesome. Now I'm going to help Doris to experience that right now. All right. So Doris, look, so that was like an iPhone 7. Here's the 12. When I speak and someone writes down what I'm saying, that someone else writes it down. It's called a bank note. Literally, a bank note is a piece of paper with my words on it. Yes. So I'm Doris, and I say, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. And somebody goes, oh man, that was deep. And they write it down. You know what this is called now? A bank note. You know what that means? That person that wrote it down could go to Wells Fargo, Chase, and say, excuse me, I'd like to cash in this bank note. And they hand it to the cashier, and they go, what's this piece of paper? Oh my God, look at that deep piece of writing. Oh my Lord, how much do you want for this? $1,000. Okay. And they take the note and give you $1,000 US. That's what a teacher produces, banknotes. That's what Doris is here for, creating banknotes. If she's writing it down, then she is consuming a banknote. She's like, oh my God, that was good. But she has to pay for that. Every time you take notes, you must pay. So you've heard of student debt, right? Mm-hmm. Ivy can tell us about that. Ivy, can you tell us anything about student debt in America?
I look at it more as student investment, where people are investing in themselves. They're maybe borrowing today, but they're investing in themselves, and it will be more valuable in the future. So you can call it student debt, but I call it student investment. Now,
why is there a thing on earth called student debt?
Somebody liked that label.
It's very popular. Now, I agree with that. I agree with that the intent is student investment, but many students graduate and they have nothing in their brain, but they have a debt. They just have a debt.
I don't think I agree with that. If they've gone to school and they invested in themselves to go into debt for education, they have more than nothing in their hands.
What I mean is they have something in there, but it's not useful, because most of the time they were at college. This is what they were doing. They were having a good time and partying, and then they graduate. And they're like, shoot, what did I learn? But whether they learned anything or not, there is something in there. But what I can tell you, there's this thing called a debt that they have that has to be paid back. And it can be paid back if they use what they learned to teach and give value to their employer, right? If I graduate
value, they will earn income and they can repay what they borrowed.
Exactly. But now if we look at the economy, you'll see that there's this still growing mass of student debt that is not getting paid back. It's just growing. And the reason is because the student is not teaching. The student is consuming knowledge and collecting debt, but not teaching to pay off the debt. That's my point.
So Nigel, then what is your suggestion for those of us on this call to help the students that we work with? So for example, I work with a lot of students. How do we help them?
I'll tell you immediately. Are they still in class?
Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Well, let's deal with the ones in class, because that's where the debt is actually accumulated. It's sitting in the classroom. To get in the class, you have to pay down X thousand. And when you're in the classroom, guess what you're taught to do? Take notes. And I'm telling you, this act of taking notes is accumulating debt to be paid back in the future. And what happens is when the student leaves, if they stay on in the college and become a professor, then they teach again and pay off their debt, right? If you stay on and you say, I did chemistry, and then I become a chemistry professor, guess what? In no time, that debt is gone. And then let's just say I went to University of Miami Research Lab, I get to teach again. Now, as long as I'm teaching or using my voice to spit out the knowledge that I accumulated, that debt goes down, Aggie.
And teaching can be in the form of being a salesperson, a marketing person.
It's value.
All of it requires the voice as the moneymaker. All of it requires.
The voice is a value transmission device, is my point. As long as I'm speaking out, value goes in. But when I'm doing this, value is coming in. And if value comes in, money goes out. So to answer Aggie's point, Nigel, how can I help students now, today, in the classroom and out, but mainly the ones in, to generate banknotes? This is what I say. Teach the child, the student, to disrupt the class and give summaries.
No, I had a really great example. I was in Kansas visiting my granddaughter, and we were just for fun in the car. I wanted to test this principle of not taking notes, because children learn, and we all learned in the beginning as babies, we all learned everything without a single notepad, right? So I wanted to teach her the months in a row, because she didn't seem to know that. And so I asked her to say it. And of course she had 80-70% right. And then I had her repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. But about the 6th or 7th or 8th time, she actually had it all right. And then I taught her 30 days, have September, April, June, and November. And she learned that too, but she only learned it by just saying it. She didn't learn it. Yeah, she didn't learn it by taking a one single note. And it was like, oh my gosh, this principle that we learn more by speaking it out is so valid.
That's my point right there.
What Master Nigel is saying, Doris, is when you speak it back as if the person delivered it, but even if you're 90% wrong or 50% right, that act is going to be the teaching. That's how you're going to actually learn it.
Yes.
And it's good. It's okay to get it wrong. And then Nigel will speak it back, and then you get it a little bit more right and a little bit more right. And then it sinks in it. And then it's like, it's a learning. Absolutely. You don't have to take the notes. I don't have to take notes anymore.
The thing that interferes with that process that Bettina is talking about is that in the school system, there's a word called right. Mm-hmm. And if you say it back and it's wrong, then you get shamed and punished. So children are afraid to speak it out again because they're going to get it wrong. And they think if they get it wrong, it means their memory isn't working. No, it's called practice. You're practicing. So that's what I want to encourage, Doris.
Okay.
Just give me the wrong answer.
Here's the beautiful thing. So when my granddaughter was actually wrong 7 or 8 times, it took her to get it right. You know what? What she did in between was she laughed. When she got it wrong, I said, no, let's do it again. She actually laughed. I said, one more time. And she laughed every time she got it wrong. She laughed. And then we cheered because she got it right at the end. And that's, again, really different in schools where it's like you get penalized. I used to get hit with rulers from the nuns if I didn't speak Spanish when I was in Puerto Rico. And how, you know, I learned how to speak Spanish all right, but it was a painful experience, you know, because there was the punitive is part of the education system.
Exactly. That's what's hurting Doris, is because I know, because my culture is heavy on the punishment. All right.
Yeah.
Now, let me just say this. There's a word that replaces wrong and right. I prefer to avoid right and wrong. Both of those words are virus. The word that I've learned from engineering, and it's a beautiful word, is error. Doris, say error.
Error.
Yes, I made an error, Nigel. Go ahead.
Okay. I made an error, Nigel.
Yes, and I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
And then I'll make another error. And that's it. That's how humans grow, by making errors, forgiving myself, correcting the error, make another one. And it's called iPhone 1, iPhone 2. Do you know that every iPhone is a bug fix? They made iPhone 1, it was an error. They found some errors, they fixed it and called it iPhone 2. And then they looked at that, it still had errors. They fixed it, iPhone 3. They fixed it, now we're on iPhone 12. You know what iPhone 12 is? The bug fixes from all the previous ones. And this is a new version. And there will be bugs here. So errors are how humans grow. And errors is a wonderful thing. It's without errors, there is no growth. But in the school system, they don't use that word error. They say wrong. And when they say wrong, you see that sound, right? Nobody wants to get it wrong. Whereas in engineering and all things high performance, they love errors. Oh, Microsoft, which is in Seattle, I believe, they pay their employees for finding errors. They pay them. Did you find an error? Oh, you get a bonus. They pay the employees to find errors. I just read a book by Ray Dalio. Has anyone heard of Ray Dalio? Okay, I'll tell you who he is. The #1 investment hedge fund manager on planet Earth, right? This is the guy that's basically, the government comes to him for advice. And he wrote a book called Principles, A Way and Life and Work. And basically he shows the inside story of how he built the #1 hedge fund company on planet Earth. And he says, the first thing we have to do was make it okay for everyone to share their errors. Like they'll have a staff meeting and be like, I made these errors and these errors. And it was like public. You got to confess your errors. And then they collected all the errors and studied them to learn what to fix. And then they fixed it. And as they go along, they fixed errors. And that's how they built their company, so that they were learning from their errors. Yes? And that word was never taught to me in school. I learned that when I was doing software engineering on an aircraft. And they're like, oh, Nigel, we need the errors, man. It's called testing, right? Without the testing, there's no testimony. Testing means errors, okay? So, Doris, there you have God installed in you the perfect memory. And the way that all memory works is by error correction. That's how babies learn to walk. They got it wrong, fell over, and they got up, fell over again. Right? And next thing you know, they corrected the errors. It's just built into the human being to fix errors. And just to bring this point home, right? Billionaires, you know, they are the top of the food chain. The B's, the ones with a B after their name. They love that word so much that they made it their title. Billionaire Warren Buffett, billionaire Steve Jobs, billionaire, what's his name?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. They use the billion as their title. All right, just to show you how important that number is. And where was I going? Oh, this is for Doris. What is the sport that billionaires love to play? Doris.
Football.
You've never seen one of those billionaires on a football pitch. Never.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I know.
Those are the millionaires, though. There are some
Wait.
millionaires playing football.
Yes. Millionaires, like, but either way, what I want you to do is make an error, Doris. Just make an error. In other words, guess.
Okay, I'm going to say golf.
Wow.
I got it right?
Yes, Doris.
I
And
figured
the reason why she got it right, everybody, and I've tested this a billion times, is every time I ask someone to give me the wrong answer, guess the wrong answer, their intuition gives me the right answer because they're no longer worried about getting it right. Yes, Doris? If I said, give me the right answer, you start saying football, cricket, you'd be going through all the things and testing if Nigel approved. But if I said, Doris, I don't care, just give me the wrong answer, the first answer that pops into your head, intuition will kick in, and that's your super gift right there, Doris. Didn't come out of your memory, came from your spirit.
Okay, good.
So I'd like you to trust and go for the error. Just before you start, you just say, I'll probably make an error on this. So here's my first answer. Just say it like that. So nobody expects you to get it wrong and you won't be judged because you told them, hey, listen, I'm going to say my ABCs and there's going to be a few errors in it. I have forgiven myself already. Please join me in that practice. You see that? I'm forgiving myself first for making my errors. And I'll just say, audience, please join me. Forgive Nigel because he's going to mess up. And that way you can come on the stage without your notes, Doris, because now you just have to trust spiritual guidance because you're an angel. You don't speak of your own volition. You speak what the Spirit tells you to speak.
That's
right. All right. So we don't care about right. We care about how much error in that. All right. So for Doris, thanks for staying, by the way. This is my preference that you stay and join us in teaching practice. The money is made from giving out your teaching. Now, I have to say this, okay, I'm going to pause there because there's a topic related to teaching versus selling, and that's where my lesson is right now. But just before I close out this section, would Doris like to offer a summary with errors of whatever she's thinking, hearing, has to say, whatever she'd like to say. Just give a teaching.
Okay, well, my summary for today is I learned to I'm teaching not to take notes. I'm teaching that I am an angel.
Yeah.
And angels have memories.
No, they get channeled. They channel wisdom. An angel
will channel wisdom.
Yes. So it's not in their memory. It just, the Spirit will just channel out of, you just open your mouth and out of your mouth will come out the most amazing thing. As long as you're not saying checking if it's right or wrong. So an angel channels wisdom. Yes, keep talking.
Ooh, well, I need to get to know more about this, but it's deep what you're doing, but it's real good though. It's making me think. Keep talking, okay?
No, you keep talking and you'll do what I do. Yeah. Yes.
Errors is part of teaching?
Yes.
It's okay, forgive yourself for the errors.
Speak in the first person.
I forgive myself for the errors, my errors. Okay. Ooh, Nigel, you're messing with my brain. I got to get stronger at this. This is all new and it's powerful.
It just means you're practicing. The first time I'm going to get it wrong or make a lot of errors. Just like a baby, the first time a baby gets up to walk, they fall down 1,000,000 times. So get used to the beginning. There's a lot of errors at the beginning, Doris. So yes, Nigel, I just began this practice. So I'm going to make a ton of errors. Is that okay? And Nigel's going to say it's mandatory. No errors, no evolution, no growth. So I count the number of errors my people make. In my session, we track errors. And if you're not making enough errors, that means you're not working out.
Hmm.
Can
I
add
like
something
that.
here?
Yes, let's hear
Can I
from
add
Aggie.
something, Nigel?
Yes, please.
Doris?
Yes.
So when I had employees and we had either I or they made an error, and one of the things I would talk to them about is business is like driving a car. And that would be the analogy that I would use. And when I get in my car and I'm driving, I spend the entire time from point A to B error correcting to stay in the lane. They're minor errors, but I want to continue to correct the errors. And so when I would use that analogy with my employees, that's when we would kind of get it. They would get it, I would get it. We would connect on that correcting the errors was okay and it was expected in business. It was in
Ain't no cha-ching, Aggie.
So anyway, that's the analogy that I've always used that has helped people.
That was a banknote, by the way.
That was a banknote. That's worth writing down.
Yeah, well, to make sure.
I'll pay for that banknote.
Wait, so here's how we make sure that she gets paid. First of all, Aggie, as you're talking, please notice the response of your audience. That means banknotes is when they're like, if you see pens going like this, oh my God, that's a writer downer. You just put out a banknote, okay?
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that you found it valuable.
What do you mean you found it valuable? There's only value coming out of you, Aggie. What else is coming out of you? Everything that comes out of an angel is value. And that's why it's time to get paid. Angels spray out value and it comes out of their mouth. 99% of the value is out of their mouth. If they're silent, then it will just come out in their presence. If they're sitting in the room like angel of discovery here, value's coming out, but it's not as strong as if she spoke.
So Nigel, can you cover the value?
The money relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. She's demanding a lot of me today, people. She wants everything. But I want to acknowledge Aggie before she goes offline. Aggie, put your mic back on, please. So first of all, Aggie, you're a master teacher. And you have wisdom in the place that matters the most for the angels. Would you like to guess what that is? Where, when you speak, your topic affects all of us. What do you think that is?
Well, my topic today, it might change, but my topic today is business growth. So what I'm focusing on is how what you're saying and what the other teachers in the room are saying can be translated into making our businesses more successful. Because I am here for the primary reason, if not the sole reason, of making the We Empower You membership valuable to everybody on this call and all of the members who are not. And let's grow our own businesses. And that's what I want to do through this membership. And that's what I'm trying to do. So if whatever we're doing here isn't translating to our businesses, then we can re-look at what we're talking about, because I think the concepts that we have here can be translated, but we need to jump from concept into practice in our own businesses and our own practices.
And there's an angel for that. And there's an angel for that, is my point. And who will be the angel for that?
Tina.
No,
The angel.
it's Aggie. And that's my point.
Oh,
Aggie's presence causes the translation of concepts to business. But that concept happens when Aggie is talking. You see? Nigel is just spray. He's the master of concepts. Nigel can spray concepts three-dimensionally. I know how to get them there. But when there's an angel for that in the room, I expect to be disrupted every minute. Nigel, hold on. We need to translate that into business. Yes, Aggie, go ahead. And so
I'm
now
happy to interrupt you, just like now, if you want me to.
It's
I'm good
mandatory. It's mandatory. I'm so pleased. This is the most you've ever spoken on any call, and it's been the best. Oh my God, this is dream come true. So Aggie, but let me just say, it translates to business growth, right? Business growth is measured in what?
Well, I like to measure it in money.
Thank you. That's my point.
For one, though. But I also want to
translates.
say, Nigel, I also want to measure it in impact, because it's not always the money. There are other ways to measure the value of the impact. So I don't want to just leave that
No,
as a
you're right.
one measurement example. I think you
Thank
can
you.
measure with money and still be failing. You need to also have positive impact in the world.
Very good. Okay. Now that we got the angel of what is, okay. Whew. I've got multiple conversations stacked. So I'm going to close them down. So first of all, let me just acknowledge that we started off with the angel, the spirit of the samurai, Lori, and she established some principles, of which one of them just activated. Was generosity in there, Bettina? And that's why Aggie's talking, because the principle of the samurai was in the room, and it brought out Aggie. She's here. She's a gift in the room. And we also have the angel of light. Because she's in the house, everybody's laughing and joking, right? Yes? And Nigel can be serious, but when angel of light is in the house, my thing lightens up. Yes? So this is why your gifts have to be put out strongly. And notice that angel of light is using some of her tools, her candle. She's using her equipment to enhance the presence in the room, right? So then we have power in the house, Dorothy, and I love it. Dorothy comes in and is like, listen, you gotta just talk to me and throw me in the deep end like that. And she's like, pow, and she's about to do battle. I'm like, oh, this could be a war without protocol. So this is why I had to like, okay, first of all, I have to establish the protocol that this is a teaching environment. Well, I didn't know, and you didn't tell me, and you just expect me to know. And I'm like, yes, I do expect you to know, because you come from the factory of the all-knowing. And I'm standing in my power that I know that you know that you know, and I'm not here to teach you. And you don't need to be familiar and comfortable to do your magic. You're an angel that's dropped on earth, and you go to work immediately in any environment. No warm-up necessary, because you were built right the first time. And then I'm saying, okay, I can see that she was force-fed some errors, taking notes. No, you're an angel of God, therefore you get direct connect. God sends you data. You don't have to take any notes. The only thing is, do you agree? Does your spirit agree with Nigel's spirit? When he's talking, is it resonating with your heart? That's called the truth. When your spirit says, we like what he's saying, and your head is nodding without your volition, that means your spirit agrees with my spirit. But for it to get into memory, you have to say it. And that's why I had you summarize. So Nigel, what I'm teaching is that when I say it goes into my memory. That's how all babies learn. They talk. Babies remember what they say. They ignore what they hear. Ah! But when they say something, mama, dada, that's how they remember. They just keep saying over and over again, and they make mistakes, Dorothy. They never beat themselves up for falling over 100 times. And no, I don't know any mama that says, that's wrong, baby. You should learn to walk. You should be walking. You should not fall over. You should not do this. The word not is a major virus that's hurting Doris. So that's why we sent you the virus list. The number one word on the list is not. The second most troublesome word is the word you. It puts the power over there instead of here, I, all right? And when I'm a powerful person like Doris, and I say, you know what, I just started a war. Nigel, you come in here, you didn't tell me, you. That's warfare.
Really?
Yes, angel of light.
When I take things personal, I'm diminishing my virtues of my angel gifts.
Now, there's no, Yolanda, there's no way on earth you can diminish anything that God gave you. All that can happen is you stop sending it out.
Mm.
That's all you're doing. You're blocking the flow, but it cannot be diminished. Like God cannot be diminished. Nothing he gave you can be squashed. It can just be withheld. And so the you and all these things block the flow. So what we're doing is opening up your wings so that you just pour it out. So there is no diminishing, Doris. You can never be diminished.
Yolanda.
Yolanda, yes. So don't speak that against yourself. There's no, I cannot be diminished. I am great, just like my father is great, or my creator is great. So for Doris, it's just when I clash with you, I'm willfully fighting, Doris, because I want to bring to your awareness your power. And then I say, add this protocol and look how our power harmonizes. This is where the problem is, that when a powerful woman meets a powerful man and they have no protocol, it's called warfare. And the man is trying to suppress the power of the woman. No, it ain't happening. She is powerful and there's nothing you can do about it. You better learn to harmonize with it. Yes? And that's done in language. Okay, that's why Nigel is saying, pay attention to the words. The virus list shows you which words create the, okay? That's for Doris. So I just wanted to complete that. But the next gift that appeared in the room was the angel Aggie. And she brought my favorite topic to the party. All of this stuff, peoples, has to convert to US dollars. Otherwise, your business isn't going to grow. Unless what all this converts to money money, then your business is not going to grow. And if your business isn't growing, it won't have an impact in the world. And I love what Aggie's bringing, because it's my topic, really. That's the underlying principle. What Angel Aggie is speaking out in plain English is the underlying principle beyond what I'm saying. When I say the voice is the moneymaker, I'm saying convert your speech into a business practice. Convert that into, let's measure your talking and how it impacts your revenues. That's what I'm saying. And now as your revenues is growing, as my revenue is growing, it's actually measuring how much impact I'm having on the planet. Now, this is where I think Angel Aggie might see it differently, and I would invite the interruption. Oh, wait, Maura had something.
Oh, Moria, can I
Yeah.
have you just click on the F2 key to just lower the volume down? Just a couple times,
Oh,
a little bit more.
All right. Yes, Maura.
is that better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, as the angel of exploration, what I find is that I love to explore so many things that I find myself easily going from one to the other and not moving forward because I'm not wanting to miss any. How do I say it without using the word not? I want to explore all the things there are.
Fair enough.
That interesting.
It's a common experience. So let me address it. First of all, the way to say it without virus is my intention is. Just repeat that. Oh, unmute yourself, sorry.
My intention is
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay. My intention is to have clarity about what is most important for me to spend time on.
Beautifully done. So that phrase, my intention is, will get me out of any virus trap. Yeah? Do you feel how it flowed out of you? Just easy. So practice starting every sentence with my intention is, okay? All right. Now that does something. It adds focus. My intention is to explore geography today. And then because I'm using intention as my leader, I can schedule which of the billion things that I'm going to do next. So all that's missing for Angel Moria is scheduling. Just add scheduling, and you say, today at 9 o'clock, my intention is to explore UK. And then at 11, I'll be exploring Canada. And then let me map out my schedule for the rest of the year so I can see how I can structure my intentions, my exploration intentions. See that? Otherwise, I'll be randomly moving around because it's called the fear of missing out. If I look at this, then I won't look at that. So we just schedule it all out. We say, oh, just sequence it. That way my mind knows we're going to get to Canada tomorrow. So don't worry. If we find something on Canada, we'll look at it tomorrow. Okay. And the mind goes, okay, you sure, mama? Yes, we're going to. Right? So the mind just loves order, and order comes from scheduling.
I do a schedule every day of the 3 or 6 or 9 things that I really want to deal with today. And I often get 3 or 4 of them done and often don't get the rest of them done because something else.
It's called an error. It's called an error. So as my muscle gets bigger at managing my intentions, I will actually fulfill the number that I intended that day. But at the beginning, I set out to do 10, I only get 3. You know that gap between 10 and 3? Error. It means that you're practicing. All right, so forgive self, look at the error, set it again, right? Learn the error. Like Aggie said, you're just driving and we're just error correcting all day. Oh, the golf relationship is that the billionaires play golf. And you know what golf is? It's a game of errors. Missing the hole. That's all they do all day. They drive around in that cart and aim at the hole and miss it. And they don't go, oh, darn, I missed the ball. No, they go, miss it again until they get in the hole and they say it's a par 6 and a par 8 on the par. And they're just counting the errors that they made. For some reason, the game of golf is just a game of errors. The mastery of errors. And if you get the ball in a game of golf, it's a miracle. No person playing golf expects to get the ball in the hole, even in under 4 strokes. And it does rarely happen, and then they call it the Masters Championship. But even at that level, they still miss the hole. Okay, so the reason I'm saying that, at the top of the food chain, the game that they play, the preferred game of the billionaires is golf. And what is golf? The game of correcting errors. Now, that's for the ones that want to move their bodies. Then, Warren and all those guys, they play bridge, whatever that is. But I'm sure there's some errors in that. Okay.
Nigel, one other sports analogy that I really like with error correcting is look at batting averages for baseball players. If you're batting in the 300s, you're going to win whatever the award is for being the best, best at batting. But that means you had an error 70% of the time, but you're one of the champions. And you very rarely, if ever, get somebody who bats in the 400s, which would mean you're still making errors 60% of the times. And that's a game that pretty much everybody knows, and it is rife with batting errors, but you still succeed. I always like that.
And then
analogy.
they have to play 160 some games a year on top of that. So
here's another one, Angel Ivy. Who's the number one basketball player in the world? Who comes to mind? Hello, basketball.
LeBron James.
Okay, LeBron.
Kevin Durant. How many do you want me to name?
I was going to say, it depends on
Kevin Durant.
Just number one. Who do you think is number one? Let me see who. It's just a name that's going to pop into your head, and that's it.
Current or former?
Who? It doesn't matter. Just pick one. I don't know.
Michael Jordan.
Thank you.
Michael Jordan is the one I'm thinking.
Michael Jordan. Who comes to mind for Doris?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, right? Michael is the guy that I had in mind. All right. So it's not a judgment game because it depends on era and whatnot. But Michael has that title for that era, right? And you know why he's number one?
Because of the errors.
He scored more baskets than anyone else on the planet. But he made more errors than any other basketball player on earth. Michael made the most errors. That's the statistic that made him great. And the errors is what makes him great. And how do you make errors? You practice. He gets up at 5 a.m. in the morning and practice making errors. Error. And then LeBron, not LeBron, the one that died in the helicopter crash.
Kobe.
Right.
Kobe.
Said he was going to take out Michael, take his championship. And Michael said, let me help you. And Michael schooled him and said, in order for you to have my champion, my title, you must practice more than me. And that's exactly what Kobe did. And so after Michael was Kobe, and now the next generation is LeBron. All of them, what they specialize in is practice. So here's a definition for practice in business and in life. Here we go. This is a banknote. I'm just checking. Here it is, banknote coming straight from memory. May have errors. Practice is the rapid and frequent detection and recovery from error. Let's see if Aggie can repeat that with error, please.
Oh, it will be with errors. Practice.
Yes, please. Yes.
Oh, I don't even, yeah. Practice is I'm going to say my practice is the repetition of making and correcting errors.
Beautifully done. Version 1 with errors. So now I'm going to.
With errors, yeah.
Yeah, now we're going to practice. Watch this. Practice is the rapid and frequent detection and recovery from error.
Practice is the rapid and frequent.
Error, please. Just give it an error.
Identification of errors.
That's an error, right? So let's do it again. But it's getting better. Practice is the rapid and frequent detection and recovery from error.
Practice is the rapid and frequent detection and recovery from error.
Bing! Repeat, please.
Phew.
Yeah, but you had to go through errors to get there, right? Just go, just repeat it again.
So I'm batting
it right. Huh?
Practice is the rapid and frequent detection and recovery from error.
Repeat. Now that you have it, 0 errors, just keep repeating so it goes straight into memory. That's why I'm having you repeat it, to install it in memory. Go ahead.
Practice is the rapid and frequent detection and recovery from errors. And it's all I can do not to write it down. I'm telling you.
That's what I was going to ask you. Where is your pen?
Oh, it's right here. No, it's all I can do not to write it down. I'm a note taker.
The reason why I know it's a habit, but look at this. Did you write it down?
No.
Is it in memory?
It's in short-term memory.
Well, let's put it in long-term by repeating it again. Go ahead.
Error.
Practice.
A practice is the rapid and frequent detection and recovery from error.
Beautiful. Now, if you'd like to get it into long-term without pen and paper, this is the secret. You ready for the secret? Mm-hmm. Be sure? Now, I don't have to tell you, because you like writing it down. Babies don't write it down, but they have it in long-term memory. Look, here we go. To get it into long-term memory, I've got to teach it to someone else. Repeat, please.
To get it into long-term memory, I need to teach it to someone else.
Yes, from your memory to theirs. The act of teaching it causes it to go into long-term. Look at me. That distinction came to me in 2002 is when that came to me. And I taught it so much now. I close my eyes when I'm teaching it. So, Aggie, if you'd like to have that in long-term memory without a pen and paper, just teach it to another angel and see how hard it is to forget it. This is what the gift for Angel Doris. Up until now, Doris, you were thinking in error that you were a student. And I was like, enough of that. You are a teacher. God made you a teacher. You're a teacher and a role model. You came out the womb teaching. And then you were taught to learn. You taught to be a student. You have to go to school to learn to be a student. And I tell you, you were born as a teacher, ready to go. And all that happened to you is somebody silenced your voice. And you started listening and taking notes and listening. But if you want to activate that memory, you got to start talking and teaching. That's what I'm doing. Look at Nigel, I'm modeling the thing that I'm talking about. And to bring it to business, this is my business. This is what the membership, if you want high return on your membership from We Empower You, get on one of these things and talk. Do what Aggie's doing. Teach something that helps an angel to make more money. Teach them your gifts, and your value in the membership will return, heaped up and multiplied. This thing, the voice, is the moneymaker. If you come to these Wednesday calls and take notes, you will not get a lot of value from your membership. But if you say, oh, Nigel, can I disrupt you to add value? Whoever's watching this, they're going to like, I like that Aggie lady. She makes sense. That Nigel guy is just all over the place, but that distinction she talked about, value and impact, convert all these things. Right? That's when the money is made, when you're putting out value into the audience. If you just come to listen and take notes, then I don't know, you'll get something, but if you give notes, you can take it to the bank. That's my point. Okay. Give notes and take it to the bank. Give notes, give back notes. So, angel of exploration, what are you thinking? You're always thinking.
I'm thinking that if I want to make a difference for others as well as for myself, I will tell them to get into exploration and explore lots of things and focus on what is most important.
Now, I think, excuse me, that Moria, Angel of Exploration, requires a session. We need to give her a little, like a 20-minute platform right here on a Wednesday, so that she teaches us about exploration and the principles behind it. What do you think about that?
Too, I can't read notes, right?
You get to teach.
Without any notes.
You give notes. You have notes, but you just give them instead. Like if you have any notes, you give them. We don't get notes, you give notes. When notes come out of you, the money goes in the bank. Nigel's just saying, put it out this way. Don't take it in. Do not store it here. You're not here to listen and learn. You're here to give and teach. The givers shall inherit the money. Yes? The givers. You are now a go-giver, not a go-getter. Yes?
Nigel, but she's asking if in the giving she can be reading her notes.
Who is she asking? She is giving notes. What do you mean? She's giving her notes. If she writes something down and gives it, what is that called?
Giving.
Yes, giving notes. Give notes. But if she's sitting there and taking notes, that's what Nigel is objecting to. She's sitting on the call. Oh, that was good. Let me write it down so I can remember it later. Oh, that was good. Let me write it. You ain't right. You ain't gonna remember nothing. This piece of paper is going on a bookshelf somewhere to be forgotten.
Mm-hmm. I would like the people that I teach to remember too, and some people will need, from their perspective, to write notes.
No,
I mean,
they'll only do that, Moria, if you allow it. Notice Nigel disrupted it with a powerful Doris. Doris nobody gives her instructions up in here. This is a powerful woman. Doris was taking notes before she met me. And then she comes to my session and she's taking notes like all great people do. And Nigel's like, excuse me. She's like, what? What are you doing? Are you taking notes? Yes. I'm like, no. Yes. No. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
what? Who do you think you are, Nigel, telling me that I need to take notes so I can remember? I'm like, lady, who do you think you are? Are you trying to have a fight with me, Nigel? Yes, I'm willing to use all my superpowers to reactivate your greatness because there's an error in your process. What's the error? You think I should not take notes? I'm not allowed to take notes? I'm here to disrupt your note taking so you become a note giver, not a taker of note, a giver of notes. And givers of notes take money to the bank. That translates to business. Business. I'd like every graduate from We Empower You to be on stage giving notes. Where do you learn that? Oh, We Empower You. Well, I signed up for the membership, man, and they gave me so much chances to give my notes. And now I'm being called to different stages to give notes. You see what I'm saying? And where'd you get that from? We Empower, man. I have my affiliate thing here if you'd like to sign up, and I get paid for your registration. More money. Hello. You got to talk, my friend, to make money. This is the best gift that Bettina has given to me. Every Monday, she goes, Nigel, you're on. I'm like, really? Doesn't she know that stage time equals money? Hello. That's why yes, I'm talking, but I'd like Yolanda to disrupt and summarize. So she gets to teach. Yes, you know.
I get to teach, okay?
So the best way to teach is to give a summary.
Summary. Do you
Not
want me
what
to
I
give-
want. Not what I want. You are the teacher. You get to own your stage.
I would like to summarize what I learned today,
What I'm teaching today.
what I'm teaching today. I'm teaching you, my pupils, that
My fellow angels.
my fellow angels.
Now don't turn them into students. They
Okay.
are great ones too. And all that's happening is when you're teaching, you're activating their gifts to teach. So your words make them better teachers. So what happens in the room is we have a whole bunch of teachers. Now I'm interested in what Doris wants to teach, what does Angel of Troy wants to teach, what does Mara, see now I'm interested in Mara. Mara's a teacher, of course I want to hear about exploration. And what does Paulette teach? If everyone's a teacher, that means the room is rich.
Yes.
And each teacher's teaching activates the teaching of the other one. So don't call them students, my fellow teachers, but you're teaching to a teacher. So that's why you got to respect them, that they're wise like me. So my game has to be higher. Go ahead.
My fellow angels
And teachers.
and teachers. My summary today is that by not taking notes, by giving notes, I'm going to be running to the bank quite often. I like that. By not taking notes, I am retaining more information.
No. By speaking notes, I retain more information.
Because I said by not taking notes, by speaking notes, I am retaining more information. I am teaching them. Therefore, when I teach, I learn more.
You remember more. You remember more.
I remember more.
Yes.
And what I learned today is what I am teaching today as well.
Excellent.
It's to be present in the room and be 100% present. Don't leave the room without leaving somebody in charge of my position. What I am teaching today is to be aware of what? Of the light I bring to each one of you as I'm teaching. I'm excited to bring you that light.
Wait. You're not bringing it to you. You're just bringing the light. It's like when we turn on the light in the room, we're not turning it on at anybody. We're just turning on the light, which is, so I am the light. Just repeat that.
I am the light, and I'm
Yes.
excited about it.
Exactly. So I'm not the light for you. I'm just the light in the room. The light is not personal. It's just on. Okay. Thank you for being on. You notice the room has maintained a spirit of joy because the angel of light is still here.
I would like to teach you something else. Earlier, Master Nigel said, I don't minimize myself by doing the wrong thing, by making an error, by allowing somebody else to drop their SHIT on me.
Virus. We call it virus.
A virus. What I know for a fact is when an eagle is trying to be bitten by a snake, the eagle spring their wheels, hi, 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 hi. And that way she shakes it off and gets the snake because the snake doesn't fly. So that's my teaching to you.
How does that apply to your business?
Well, it applies because you mentioned that we spread the wings, and that came to mind. What it says that an eagle is hardly bitten by a snake because she knows the trick. And my analogy to that is when somebody brings me their virus, I'll shake it off.
Amen.
And
by the
continue.
way, I would like to call on Addie to translate that into business talk.
Okay.
Well, I would look at it, if you have a business problem, is the snake. So sometimes you need to rise above it to be able to get that vision of it, get that view to figure out how to deal with the issue. You may also need some other views. So you might you might be swiping at the snake, but we're all faced with these snakes. I'm not a big lover of snakes, but if you can rise above it and see the ground, see the forest and the trees, see both, see the snakes, see what's around it, and figure out how to deal with the snaky issue. That will help you move forward in your business. So I hope that, I hope you can. Is that how you would apply it, Yolanda? Is that a way that you?
Very well, yes, very well said. Because the snake only crawls. It cannot go other than that. So, very well said. I love it.
Wasn't that beautiful? Angel, wasn't Angel Aggie's translation beautiful? Man, I'm getting those goosebumps things when she wrote that down. That's a concept, an angel concept translated into business language. This is why I said there's an angel for that. There's an angel for everything.
She said, rise above, and see the greenery and see the beauty. Once you're rising above, the snake is gonna disappear. It's disappearing.
I can just see the spreadsheet.
Spreadsheet.
All right. Yeah. Hold on. I thank you for that beautiful summary, Angel Yolanda, Angel of Light. Who is next? I know you called Angel Doris before, but could you call on anyone that hasn't spoken enough?
Troy hasn't spoken much.
My summary, it's interesting, Bettina shared the story about her granddaughter, correct? I had an experience with my son just 2 nights ago that reinforced the principle that I learned by speaking. For some reason, the words to this song, Gangster's Paradise by Coolio, came to my mind, something I was discussing with my 10-year-old son. So I said this certain line to him and he said it right back to me, or pretty close. And so I said it again, and he said it right back. And so just like that, no notes, 2 little lines, he heard it, he spoke it, he remembered it. So this example of Bettina and what Nigel has shared of that I learned by speaking, it just was really reinforced to me today.
I remember by speaking.
I remember by speaking because I already know, I'm just reminded of it.
Thank you. The reminded. It means that it was there already and it's come again. So it's memory. People have confused remembering with learning. And they've linked it because in the school system, they measure your learning by how much you remember. It's called rote learning. Yeah? And they do these tests And can you remember? So when I was at college, I had never learned how to remember. You know, I'm terrible at notes and all that stuff. I came to college late, and then I had this roommate, and he would do nothing all year. This guy was lazy, and like I'm like, so I was sorry for him because I was in the library, man, working. And then 2 weeks before the exam, what I saw him do is took his notes and copied it from one book to the other. And one thing he was very good at, by the way, is note taking in the classroom. He took beautiful notes. And then I also found out there was a whole gang of people that had the notes from the classes 5 years ahead. And it was a secret group that was sharing the notes. And all they were doing was copying the notes from note to note. And they were just copying it over. And it turns out that when you copy notes, you have short-term memory, just enough for the exam. And so my guy got a first-class degree, and I got a C, because when I'm stressed out, which exams stress me out, I forget. My brain just goes offline. So I had terrible grades, but I was the best in the class. It was like, Nigel, what are you thinking? I'd be the guy teaching, but in the exam time where you have to go from short-term memory, I failed most exams. But my guy, who had done nothing all year, just 2 weeks before the exam, copy. And then he aced the test because they're testing how much you remember. And it's short term. And then when we got into industry, he was totally useless because he was an exam passing machine. Whereas I was a thinker, I calculated, figured things out right there on the spot. But I'm not. So anyway, that was just a point about the school system is testing short-term memory. And when I take notes and copy notes or memorize my notes, what I'm really memorize is my short-term memory, which the exam is testing. But whether I can then leave and apply that in industry, in business, is a whole different story. So most of the business billionaires that we see dropped out of college. They didn't get their MBA, and that's why they're brilliant. They just said, you know what, I'd rather go and add value in the world than stay here and learning academic stuff. Steve Jobs is the classic. Anyway, so I'm just acknowledging the schooling system is about messing with your mind. And I say angels are naturally gifted. And Troy just basically echoed that point. Troy, who's next?
Oh, who's next? Doris is next.
Okay, Angel, Doris, your summary.
Errors now. Okay.
Yes,
I don't
good. Wait. Let me just help you out by start by saying, I will be making some errors.
I will be making some errors.
Yes, and I forgive myself in advance.
And I forgive myself in advance. So do I say my summary for today? Is that a good word? Okay. My summary for today is that I will be teaching what is learned okay? Because I'm learning from you.
Well, no,
I'm not writing it down, but I'm learning.
No, I'll be teaching what I know in my heart, just like that way.
I will be teaching, okay, the summary, I will be teaching what I know from my heart.
Yes, that's the teacher right there.
Okay, I will be teaching what I know from my heart, okay.
And it will have errors.
And it will have errors, yes.
So that's why you don't need any notes.
Good. I understand.
I know.
I'm getting it.
But now it's practice. No, we don't want you to get it. We want you to give it. And the way to give it is to do it wrong.
Okay.
Just get on a stage and start talking and like, what do I say? I'm just going to say something because Nigel said to talk and do it wrong. And as you talk, you'll be doing it wrong, but then you're aware that you're doing it wrong and your spirit will guide you and correct you. And just like how a baby learns to walk without notepad or an iPad or refer to the internet, the baby just learns to walk by falling over and making errors. That's an inherent, it's built into the body to do that. Just like how the baby learns to walk, you can learn to do anything, play basketball, dominate in your speech, teach, and make billions, as long as you're willing to make errors and trust your inner guidance to correct it. As you saw, Angel Aggie was able to demonstrate rapid recovery from error. And she made errors about 6 times, but she got it there. And she acknowledged it's only short term. And she said to get it, and I reminded her to get it into long term, she has to teach it out. Teach it out. And that's why you see those professors and the great speakers, the great ones, they just go on the stage, no notes, because they teach all day, man. Nigel does that. That's why when Bettina says, Nigel, you're up next. That's my preparation. It's like about this much minutes. Up until the microphone comes on, I haven't prepared what I'm going to say because I know something is going to come out and the audience is wise and I trust my audience. I trust Angel Mora. I definitely trust Angel Aggie. So that's why I say she has permission and requirement to disrupt me at will. Disruption is mandatory. Okay, that's a protocol. And so I did get disrupted by Angel Doris, and it was just so that we can install protocol. Yes. Angel Doris, who else would you like to hear from?
Bettina.
Angel Bettina to the stage.
Okay. Well, in summary, I am reminded that of the distinction that my voice is my moneymaker, that my teachings are banknotes that I can take to the bank when I'm paid. And that my being the angel of connection, I have all knowing that's being channeled through me to teach that which I came here to teach.
Very good, Bettina.
Yes, you feel that, right? Now, in my people, we say, That was good. That's what we said. That food tasted good. It just, when you taste some food and you can just feel it marinating through that's that kind of food. So you'll know when you feel that. So who's next, Angel Bettina?
Angel of Freedom.
He went already.
Oh, Angel of Exploration.
Yes.
I'm remembering and knowing and teaching that exploration is how we learn what works for us and what works for others. And I'm teaching that even if we make mistakes, it's important to fill our passions and fill our purpose by exploring options and trying out things that serve us and serve others.
Amen. Beautiful. Now, add a little protocol there, Angel of Exploration. There's a way to indicate that you've completed your summary. Otherwise, we think you're still thinking.
Oh.
You notice the audience is absorbing or enjoying every word that you're speaking. And since especially I love when you close your eyes when you're speaking, it means you're channeling. And definitely not looking at your notes. You notice that? Your eyes are closed. So there's somewhere wisdom is coming through your mouth and coming out. And so the ideal scenario is that you never end, and therefore lots of bank notes get sprayed out of your mouth. And when you're done, you rush to the bank. Whew, Lord, that was a lot. And you might as well just have a direct payment, like just wire it to PayPal, people. Just, the labor of going to the bank is too much. But Angel Aggie would prefer that the accounting track all the money so we can see where it came from. Keep precision records, right? Is that true? Yes, no, just
That is true.
dump it into the bank, pass it through the accounting, then take it to the bank, okay? Or definitely keep records. All right, so angel exploration, yes. Pay attention to the value that you're putting out. And in fact, let me have Angel Aggie convert whatever you just said into business talk.
There's a way to take exploration in business. And I would like to see further conversation about exploring business and exploring how you can do better, do business better, grow your business. You can explore countries, you can explore Canada and England, but you can also explore ways to teach your team members, such as I've learned here today. We've talked about, the room has talked about here today, how we error correct, how I error correct in front of you and demonstrate that behavior, how you would then work with your clients to error correct and teach them to error correct in a positive way, in a forgiving way, in a way that makes it feel okay. I have a t-shirt that says, my imperfections are perfect. I'm perfect in my imperfections. Those are the errors. We all make the errors. And so I think you could take the exploration and teach more that same passion for exploration, but it doesn't necessarily have to be places. It can also be business concepts. It can be new products. It can be new ways to bring value to customers. And it's the same passion that you're teaching when you're teaching us, when you're talking to us, and we can apply that passion in how we explore businesses.
Great.
Oh, money. I feel the money. I mean, isn't this beautiful? Like, I love it. Where have you been, Angel Aggie?
Well, and I'm going to have to leave in 6 minutes. I have another meeting, so
Okay, well,
let you know.
I think everyone's spoken, except for Angel Aggie, except for the Angel of Money. Angel Aggie, can you give us your summary? And then we're going to return the floor. I will be returning the floor to Angel Bettina to take us home. So, Aggie, your summary.
Yeah, my intention is to summarize the business aspect of this. I mean, I've seen different tools exhibited by everybody here on this call on how they would take their angel energy, how they're channeling it, how they would apply it. And then we can all, as they're teaching us, as they're teaching me, I can learn how to use that energy in a different way to make my business, myself, more successful, and make the We Empower You membership more successful, because frankly, that's why I'm here, is to bring value to the We Empower You membership. And I think that we've done that today. And I think, Nigel, you've led us through a conversation that has added value to everybody who's been on the call today. So thank you.
Yes,
Awesome.
thank you. What a wonderful summary
Yes.
from everyone. Thank you so much, Nigel, for just delivering such value to all of us. And you might have a final note or thought to say. Go ahead and unmute. And
I am grateful for all the angels present. I'm grateful for the angel of light, the angel of freedom, the angel of exploration, the angel of anointing, ooh, the angel of money, the angel Paulette presence. I would like to especially acknowledge the angel spirits of the warrior. Is it the warrior? The samurai spirit
Right.
of Angel Lori that set this container up and illuminated by the angel light. And we had a beautiful container today, and that accounts for this beautiful experience. And I'd like to special gratitude for Angel Bettina for giving me this platform to exercise my gifts, so my gift of activation. And so it is. A special thanks to Angel Aggie for bringing it home to business. Thanks.
That was wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for coming here tonight. And also for those of you who are watching live on YouTube Live or on Facebook, we'd love to have you here on a Wednesday meeting to explore and explain a little bit more about the We Empower You membership. Join us every Wednesday at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m.-ish. We always go a little over Pacific Standard Time. And it is the We Empower You community, the We Empower You movement, and the WeEmpowerYourLife.com website. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. We'll see you next time.
Namaste.
Thank you. It was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nigel. You're very good. Thank you. See you next